Yeah! Let's go! Juice!
The math is the math!
Previously on Kimba TV. Yeah, so we broke this down pretty extensively, and I will play this exactly like how we talked about on January 7th. Plans! Prepared! Yeah, and the key thing to remember about how we prepared for this is that ETH already cleaned it, right? But when you look at RTH, it never got swept. Hey, happy Sunday, motherfuckers! Hey, how do we have such a random line for weeks? 102762.10 cents, and it pixels, y'all. Useless lines in the building. Lots to kind of go over, ladies and gentlemen. How we doing, y'all? Yeah. How's everybody's Sunday? How's everybody's weekend? It's gonna be a chill, shorter Sunday fun day. Maybe a little Warzzy, maybe a little altcoin nerd out. Preparation for tomorrow. I would like to try. Kind of depends on what baby girl wants to do, but I'd like to kick it until a little CME ETH resumption, maybe. Just see a couple of like 30-40 minutes of futures resumptions. And we're gonna be doing a couple of Discord upgrades and a couple of stream upgrades as well. You guys excited? Let's go Latuche. I haven't Latuche today. The first Latuche of the day is always super special. I was like, yo, let me do it with my boys. Let me do it with the motherfucking gang, man. Sunday Lion gang. Yeah! What do you think about Sol, y'all? I don't know if you guys saw my post, but I shaved a little bit, a tiny bit more on the swing fail, as we said we would do. What do you guys think about this? Like, for how many of you guys were here when we did the altcoin TA for Sol? And we did the TA, right? That was step 1. Step 2, we set an alert, right? Step 3, we had to sit through and be patient. You know how many, these are daily candles. I don't know if you guys remember, but hella people were like, yo, Kimba, you're not gonna get your 170. You're not gonna get your 170. You better get in right now. You're not gonna get your 170. It was like 2 weeks of like, yo, you're not gonna get your 170 Sol. So step 1, levels. Step 2, plan. Step 3, patience. And then step 4, execute. I mean, think about from all of the levels that it could have bounced from. It bounced from our level of 170. Look at this reaction.
What did he say? He just told us to be prepared.
I mean, whether you took a long or not, whether you think I took the long or not, if you saw what all the preparation that we did, what do you think about us being able to identify that 170 level on a scale of 0 to 10? Whether you took that long or not. I mean, what do you think about the analytical portion and the patience to wait until 170?
Shout out Kimba.
Doesn't matter if you took the long or not. I honestly don't care if you're in a long in Solana or not, but it's the process, you know? Like, look at the reaction from 170, y'all. You know? Crazy. So, this is gonna pay for a lot of aggressive shit that I'm gonna do for the rest of the month. Like the Sol juice, I'm gonna, go pretty hard on S&P, for example, because the Sol long is gonna pay for the S&P, big trade that I'm gonna try to take during FOMC, giving me a lot of buffer room. Can we look at ETH BTC? ETH BTC is, yeah, it's a little bit, it's still not looking that great. Let's see where the daily candle is, and we'll start with sweeps, right? And so, you know me, I'm gonna be looking for a trident, right? So we'll see. It's probably going to do something like that. And then we'll see if that level can hold, and then we'll go. And like, you can already probably tell, like if it does go back. So like this. So if it does go back to that blue line, this is going to be a golden pocket pullback anyways. So this to there, you see it? It's pixel perfect. Yeah, so ETH BTC, I'm still waiting. What's the invalidation on Sol? I mean, I don't know if you were there for Altcoin Nerd Out, brother, but I'm shaving a tiny bit on all of these to be a little bit, respectful to the market. But if you've been following along since Altcoin Nerd Out, what's my target for Sol? Do you know what my target is for Sol? I said this number almost 2.5 months ago. So 450 to 500 is what I would aim for. Even 600, I may have said that. Yeah, I may have said that number out too. Like basically 450, 475 to 500 is my target. And as I've planned with y'all months in advance, I'm trying to see if some of these altcoins can hit our home run, and let's see which of them kind of round trip us or stop us out in profit. Remember that my plan is to long 20 to 50 altcoins, between maybe like now and middle of February. And, if altcoin season goes and it actually starts, then maybe, a handful of them I don't get stopped out, I don't get round tripped, and they go for home runs. So that's the plan with Sol, or really any altcoin that I get into. Johnny is asking, do you think Tuesday we will... Okay, stop the music. Johnny Rambo's asking, do you think Tuesday we will understand if we can enter alts or wait some other week for another dip? Okay, so Johnny, you're caught up on Altcoin Nerd Out episode 1, 2, and 3, correct?
Let's go shape, motherfucker. The math is the math.
Johnny Rambo. So I'm going to assume that you understand the biggest pivot point on whether altcoin season is going to happen is if quantitative easing happens. Okay? So FedNet liquidity would go up. That means that normal motherfuckers, retail, would have cheap money trickling down to them, right? So if people are struggling to, pay rent and live paycheck to paycheck, then they're not going to be buying Shiba Inu Pupu coin. There you go. Yeah. So when institutions and banks can borrow money for cheap, it usually, ends up in the hands of retail. All right, Johnny Rambo. Yeah. Now, Tuesday, I think we're going to see how CME gaps up or down. We're going to see if the divergences follow through. And we're going to be able to see not just CME and Bitcoin, but just traditional market order flow in general. And so with the idea that you've got GDP, PC, and FOMC literally the last 3, 4, 5 days of the month, you got monthly expirations, you got weekly expirations for this week, and you've got a 3-day holiday weekend on Monday. Banks are closed, and you have a shorter trading week. And Fridays are kind of, mid. So it's really Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for institutions and the markets to really start to put a foothold on what they think the month and the year is going to be, really. So if you want to front run the FOMC, sure, we'll have an opportunity to. I mean, you can clearly see that I'm not waiting for FOMC to be Gucci for me to take a long on Sol, right? So I'm still executing my plans, Johnny Rambo. And like we talked about in the morning, even things like, regardless of if what I think personally about the conflict of interest or not even the legality, but the regalness at stake for like a president-elect to start a meme coin or a shit coin or an altcoin, that is even confluence that we might have altcoin season, a little bit. So, yeah, sounds good. That's the way that I would look at it, Johnny Rambo. I'm not going to wait for, but if you... Like, I always pay attention very closely to how I articulate things, and I also do the same for when I'm reading y'all's questions. So, you asked if we could enter alts, and so the question is, sure, yeah, and I'm not really even waiting for Tuesday for specific plans, Yeah, so keep doing your thing and keep nerding out and keep looking for mathematical and volume based and lots of confluencing levels that would provide edge for you to open long or short. What an incredible year, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, how many of y'all remember that Thursday, Friday stream before Monday, January 6th? Like right after New Year's, you guys remember the Thursday, Friday stream before the official like Monday, January 6th stream? I mean, I feel like those 2 days were juicy. I feel like every fucking day is juicy Maguchi. Yeah, and sometimes we can make money off of it, sometimes we miss the trade or we're just like too slow for it. Happens to the best of us, happens to me all the time. But the most important thing is like the shit that's happening makes sense. You understand why it did what it did. You understand why it's holding or resisting a level. And the more you see it, the more it makes sense, and you start to be able to make your own shots and calls. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Sunday stream. We're gonna get nasty with it. Schwiggity schwaggity. Salakosi says, did we already cope the plans on Monday? What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, yeah, I think if you just got here, I think getting caught up on the YouTube is definitely worth it. Nothing has really changed too much conceptually from where we left off on Friday. So if you didn't get caught up on the Friday stream, you got to do that more than getting caught up on this stream. Okay? For me, it's always going to come down to CME. And so, are we going to make a CME gap? Are we not? That's going to be something that I'm going to be thinking about. Naked point of control is right at 106.5. The 30-minute candle close hasn't shown anything resembling bearish structure, right? This doesn't look like a failed auction. You can't like lose the footing and then come right back in. You can't have a tail like that. Maybe you get a rounded structure, like the first candle arrives, the second one taps, but it looks like that first red one, the candle before this one, is actually the arrival candle, so we'll see. No failed auction, no swing fail. The local shorts still not closed yet. Depending on how this does its thing, I'm going to be able to decide if CME is going to gap fill and go or just do its own ETH thing. Have you guys noticed that the RTH gap play is a little bit more reliable than the ETH gap play? Merv says, almost gave up a few months ago and took time off. This isn't about money, it's about knowledge. Looking forward to the long journey ahead. Let's go, Murph. But Murph, I do expect you to juice the fuck up this year. You've been here too long and rocking and rolling with me for that to be just the end game, Murph, do you have any questions right now? Hey, what did you guys think about the Sunday stream today, y'all? I mean, it's not the end. We're going to boot up some Wars Easy here. Let's zoom in on the 5 minute. I'm assuming it's doing Fibonacci things. Huh? I'm just vibing, man. We're mathing. Obviously, well, not obviously, but if it's something that you need to learn and get caught up on, then I would definitely encourage you to understand the basic premises of what bulls need to do, what bears have to do, just take it level by level. How many of y'all are kind of not really, what's the word that I'm looking for? Not amazed, but especially like if you are in a short right now, the way in which the 0.5 fibs have been holding, the way in which the levels have been, I mean, look at the reaction of these levels. I think we did a pretty good job. I think I even said a couple times just straight up, there's a short opportunity up here, and then there might be a long opportunity down here. And whatever happened, we were ready for it. But even I couldn't have anticipated that it was going to be able to do that full rotate that quick. To be honest, I think I would have preferred this tomorrow, the low to be in on a Monday. So I'm really going to be paying a close attention here on is there a three drives or a trident into the 7A6 or 8A6, right? You guys are seeing the 7.5 to 0.5. So you know that if you want to keep this momentum up, at least on the smaller time frame, at least maybe you get until the blue line, you need to hold the golden pocket. So if on this pullback you lose that golden pocket and you make a lower low, then that's kind of like my signal to be like, yes, because then you're going to get the regular bull div, maybe, but it would be the regular bull div inside of the hidden bull div stuff, right? So even though if you ask me, see, that's the difference between really understanding the stuff that we talk about and just kind of blindly following along like a lemming. I'll tell you bluntly that, hey, I want to see at least a high of this on this long. But you guys all should be grown-ups and understand you guys aren't baby cubs. You guys are lion cubs, right? So you guys know that for many, many weeks, we've talked about the weekend low or the weekend high getting swept. All right. You know that the premise of trusting a hidden bull div is that it can still make a lower low and the hidden div can still be valid. And usually when that lower low comes in, you get a regular bull div. Structurally speaking, all you did was pixel 7.5 and the naked point of control. So that's a great sort of tail. However, from a bigger sort of picture structure, maybe you want like a lower low or a trident or a 3 drives or, something with more time. You also know that if it is going to be bullish, it's not going to spend time, okay? When it's bearish, it spends time, just like how you guys saw up there. That's because you have to have people open longs and start to get bullish, and you have to trap them. When you're leaving people behind, you don't need to have people do anything because you're leaving them behind. So, Mr. RG Bargy says, do we want it making another low, though, if we're bullish? Sure, yeah. So, RG Bargy, you've been here long enough, brother. So, I mean, it shouldn't surprise you if I were to say, so you see this, right? You know what this is. You know what this is, right? But, man, I would love a regular bull div. You've been here with me when, like, we got a regular bull div, smaller time frame regular bull div inside of a bigger hidden bull div, yeah? And then, like, don't you usually see weekend lows get swept? I would have really preferred, but here's the thing, too, like, maybe we don't really give a shit because we would have to technically wait until Tuesday for an RTH low when the markets come back, RG Bargy. So maybe waiting for Monday low is foolish. So those are the things that I would be thinking about. Are you already in a long or nah? Talk to me. Are you thinking about getting, how many people not in a long yet, but your golden pocket pulling back, you're doing that thing, you've got confluence on that thing, and you're thinking about taking a thing. And if that made no sense, you have no business doing a thing. Always long says, I'll take a lower low long CVD bull div. Gotcha. There's nothing wrong with taking these aggressive ones though, just in case. Okay. You don't really have a guarantee that it is going to do that. So just all stuff to think about. The most important thing I think is that no one gets surprised. Yeah. But I see ya. Waiting for structure or edge. Fantastico. RG Bargy. Yeah, well, I'm gonna start wrapping it up here. What'd you guys think about the new music? Hey, no war zone, no nothing. Maybe a little bit. You know what, Houston Cage? I'll hit you guys. Give me like an hour. Give me like 30 minutes, maybe. All right, but for sure, let me sign off of the stream and kind of shut all this little shenanigans down. Any questions, though, Lions? Hey, the journey has just begun, and all that shit that we did, in the morning, having a plan, having your own bias, understanding important levels, You know, like it's not that it was just a pixel 7.5, you know, I wanted shorts to get trapped, right? I wanted a CVD bull div, right? So, friend bought spot BTC at 106K immediate short. Well, I wish you told me that. That would have been Confluence. But I also trusted the math too. Ready? And I hope you saw that. And I hope you feel like you can trust the math a little bit too. That was daily candle close, by the way, chat. Yeah, but, you know, regardless of, you know, what it does, I'm ready. I'm excited. I will see you guys early tomorrow. You guys cool with that? I wish I could stay longer, but here's what we're going to do. I'm going to, I'll go to bed pretty early and I'll show up pre-market and we'll kick it off again with 15-second alpha TA. Which scenario gives you a better long entry? The 7.5 blind, the Kimba box, or the 618 bullish retest? Your stop loss is the same no matter what, isn't it? Just food for thought. You know, because I always want you to get the best possible entry. I think if you were taking a shit or like, you know, your significant other was giving birth and you missed the 7.5, then it's like, okay. But for me, like, it's not a Fibonacci play. This is you lose 100K. Does it snap back above? Yes or no? So really, like, any entry near 100K is what you wanted. Anything above that is a little bit chasey, but I'm not here to judge. Yoji Yamamoto 99666. Yeah, that's good shit. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, this is Sunday. So you know what the best part is about those longs? You can't lose. Is everybody aware of the potential lower low that that could potentially happen? Right? So if you do get stopped out in profit or round tripped or whatever, like, you know, think about plan B and maybe potentially plan C on a Trident or a 3 drives, okay? Ideally, it doesn't go back down. Just give me that pixel perfect 7505 golden pocket rotation. Let's start it. Let's go make a higher high right now. Did we literally just scalp 106K to 100K short and then get into 100K long and just get away with it collectively as a bunch of lions? Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. But ladies and gentlemen, let's not get too caught up, okay? Let's not get too caught up. You know what the worst thing that we could do is somehow, some way, deep down inside, believe that we are not capable of being able to do this over and over and over. And some of y'all might be in a long from like 997, 998, 996, some crazy pixel bottom shit, right? Near the 7.5. And I don't want you to think that you like holding out as long as you can to not get stopped out is what you want to do. You know, because I promise you, like, you're going to be able to get into pixel perfect bottom and top longs and shorts from now on, as long as you're a Kimba Gang Lion, best believe. It's just math. But, you know, thinking that, man, I'm never going to get a trade like this. Man, you know, 996 to 107. Oh, my God. 109. Oh, my God. That would be mega juice, you know, and really holding out and watching that bitch bleed and come back. And eventually, you know, you're stuck with a 7.5, 886 line of defense. I don't know if that's how you want to end the weekend, you know, so definitely shave. I think a lot of people are shaving a little bit at the 0.5. Yes. Even if it's like a tiny, tiny bit. Did you guys shave at the 0.5? Because even my goofy, dumbass, degenerate ass shaved a little bit at the 0.5. So I hope you guys did too. Shaved half? Damn, that's hella responsible. I didn't close even close to half, but that's hella responsible. I'll tell you what, start looking like a 30-minute candle close below this wick. Because that's like the baby Trident, right? Like any time below that, oh, that's no Gucci. So, yeah, that's probably where I would have to shave half and really start to get closed out. But it was fun today, you know, to be honest. I think not getting stopped out on this long would just be like cherry on the top. So Shumrus is closed 33. Damn, how the fuck? That brings a tear to my eye, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are getting better entries than me, better exits, and now better stop loss and profits than me. What the fuck is going on? I love it though. That's really the coolest part, because once you guys kind of figure out like what these things mean, you guys can all do, whatever you guys want to do. So if you're actually somebody that's way more responsible than me, way more conservative than me, you might juice percentage-wise faster than I do. That's awesome. Nobody can predict what's going to happen, but for the most part, the people that are always able to do the right thing and do it with less greed is always going to juice up harder than somebody that's a little bit on the greedier side. I love you guys, Lions. I'll see you bright and early. Hey, longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Bulls, Bears, we're all Lions. That's easy money, Bugatti money. Math on them. Sato, tell them what happens if they don't use good risk management. Oh, he gonna get you.